Leviticus chapter 8. The Lord totally told Moses to do this thing and said, "Take Aaron and his sons, grab their outfits, the anointing oil, a bull for the sin offering, 2 rams, and a basket of unleavened bread. Then gather everyone at the entrance of the tabernacle. Like it's showtime, bro!" So Moses did exactly what the Lord told him, and everyone came together at the entrance of the tabernacle. Moses was like, "Alright, dudes, here's the deal. This is what the Lord commanded us to do." Then Moses brought Aaron and his sons forward and gave them a good wash with water. Like, gotta be squeaky clean for this. He dressed Aaron in the coat, tied the sash around him, put on the robe, and added the ephod. Then he secured it all with the fancy sash of the ephod. Totally decked out. He put the breastplate on Aaron and slipped the Urim and Thummim into it. Like accessories that matter, you know? Then Moses put the mitre on Aaron's head and topped it off with the golden plate, the holy crown, right up front. Just as the Lord said. Moses grabbed the anointing oil and anointed the tabernacle and everything inside it, making it all holy. He sprinkled the oil on the altar 7 times, anointed the altar, its tools, the basin, and its stand to make them totally sacred. Then Moses poured the oil on Aaron's head, anointing him to make him holy for the Lord. Like major blessings. After that, Moses brought Aaron's sons forward, dressed them in their coats, tied sashes around them, and put their hats on. Just like the Lord commanded. Then Moses brought the bull for the sin offering. Aaron and his sons laid their hands on its head. It's like transferring their bad vibes, you know? Moses took care of the bull, used its blood to purify the altar, smearing it on the horns and pouring the rest at the base. Total cleansing move. He took all the fat from the insides, the flap of fat above the liver, the 2 kidneys, and their fat, and burned it all on the altar. The rest of the bull, the hide, the meat, and the poop, was burned outside the camp, just like the Lord told Moses to do. Then Moses brought out the ram for the burnt offering. Aaron and his sons laid their hands on its head too. Moses handled the ram, took its blood, and sprinkled it all around the altar. He cut the ram into pieces and burned the head, the pieces, and the fat on the altar. Like, holy barbecue vibes right there. So Moses washed the insides and legs of the ram with water, then burned the whole thing on the altar. It was totally a burnt offering with this sweet, savory aroma for the Lord, just as he told Moses to do. Then Moses brought out the other ram, the one for consecration, and Aaron and his sons laid their hands on its head. Like such a symbolic move. Moses handled the ram, took some of its blood, and dabbed it on the tip of Aaron's right ear, the thumb of his right hand, and the big toe of his right foot. Holy makeover vibes. Then Moses did the same for Aaron's sons, blood on the tips of their right ears, their right thumbs, and their right big toes. After that, he sprinkled the blood all around the altar. Moses grabbed all the fat, the rump, the fat from the insides, the liver flap, the 2 kidneys and their fat, plus the right shoulder. He took 1 unleavened cake, 1 oil-drenched bread cake, and 1 wafer from the basket of unleavened bread that was before the Lord and placed them on the fat and the right shoulder. Then Moses loaded it all onto Aaron's and his sons' hands, and waved it as a wave offering before the Lord. Like total sacred surf vibes. After that, Moses took everything from their hands and burned it on the altar as part of the burnt offering. It was a consecration offering with that sweet, smoky aroma for the Lord. Moses also took the breast of the ram and waved it as a wave offering before the Lord. That part was totally Moses' share, just as the Lord told him. Then Moses grabbed some anointing oil and blood from the altar, and sprinkled it on Aaron, his sons, and all their outfits. This made them and their clothes totally holy and set apart for the Lord. Moses told Aaron and his sons, "Boil the meat at the entrance of the tabernacle, and eat it with the bread from the consecration basket." That's the Lord's command. This is your meal, dudes. But anything left over from the meat or bread? Burn it with fire. No midnight snacking. And you can't leave the tabernacle for 7 days. This whole consecration thing takes a full week to complete. What's happening today? The Lord commanded it so atonement could be made for you. Big deal, brothers. So, you've gotta stay at the tabernacle door day and night for 7 days, keeping watch for the Lord. If you don't, you could die. And I'm not joking. Aaron and his sons did everything the Lord commanded Moses to do. Like, they totally nailed it. Leviticus chapter 9. On the 8th day, Moses called Aaron, his sons, and the elders of Israel for a major meeting. Moses told Aaron, "Dude, grab a young calf for a sin offering and a flawless ram for a burnt offering. Bring them before the Lord stat." Then he told the Israelites, "Okay, you guys need to bring a goat for a sin offering, plus a calf and a lamb, both perfect and in their first year, for a burnt offering. Also, bring a bull and a ram for peace offerings to sacrifice before the Lord, and a meat offering mixed with oil. Today's the day the Lord is gonna show up." So, they brought all the stuff Moses told them to the tabernacle. Everyone came near and stood before the Lord. Moses was like, "Alright, dudes, here's what the Lord commanded. Do this, and you'll totally see His glory." Then Moses told Aaron, "Go up to the altar and offer your sin offering and burnt offering to make atonement for yourself and the people. After that, do the people's offerings and make atonement for them too. That's the Lord's plan." So, Aaron went to the altar and sacrificed the calf for his sin offering. Aaron's sons brought him the blood. He dipped his finger in it, smeared it on the horns of the altar, and poured the rest at the base of the altar. Then he burned the fat, kidneys, and liver flap of the sin offering on the altar, just like the Lord told Moses. But the meat and the hide? He burned that outside the camp. Aaron sacrificed the burnt offering, and his sons brought him the blood, which he sprinkled all around the altar. They handed him the pieces of the burnt offering along with the head, and Aaron burned them on the altar. He washed the insides and the legs, then burned them on top of the burnt offering on the altar. Next, Aaron brought the people's offering. He sacrificed the goat for their sin offering, just like he did for himself. Then he brought the burnt offering and offered it just the way it's supposed to be done. After that, he brought the meat offering, took a handful, and burned it on the altar along with the morning burnt sacrifice. Then Aaron sacrificed the bull and ram for the people's peace offerings. His sons brought him the blood, and he sprinkled it all around the altar. He took the fat from the bull and ram, the rump, the fat covering the insides, the kidneys, and the liver flap. They put the fat on top of the breasts, and Aaron burned the fat on the altar. Aaron waved the breasts and the right shoulder as a wave offering before the Lord, just like Moses told him to do. Then Aaron lifted his hands toward the people, blessed them, and stepped down after offering the sin offering, burnt offering, and peace offerings. Moses and Aaron went into the tabernacle, then came out and blessed the people. And boom, the glory of the Lord appeared to everyone. Fire shot out from the Lord's presence and burned up the offerings on the altar. When everyone saw it, they totally freaked out, shouted, and fell on their faces. Like, whoa! Leviticus chapter 10. Nadab and Abihu, Aaron's sons, grabbed their censers, put fire in them, and added incense. But they offered some totally bogus, unauthorized fire before the Lord, which he had not told them to do. Then this gnarly fire shot out from the Lord and totally consumed them, and they died right there before the Lord. Moses told Aaron, "Dude, this is exactly what the Lord meant when he said, 'I'll be shown as holy to those who come near me, and I'll be glorified in front of everyone.'" Aaron kept it together and didn't say a word. Then Moses called Mishael and Elzaphan, Aaron's cousins, and said, "Hey guys, come here and carry your brothers out of the sanctuary and out of the camp." So they came and carried them out in their coats, just like Moses told them to. Moses said to Aaron, Eleazar, and Ithamar, "Don't uncover your heads or tear your clothes, or you'll totally die and bring wrath on everyone else. Let the rest of Israel mourn for what the Lord just did with the fire. Oh, and don't leave the tabernacle entrance, or you'll die, since the Lord's anointing oil is on you." And they totally followed Moses' instructions. Then the Lord spoke directly to Aaron and said, "Listen up, no wine or strong drinks for you or your sons when you're heading into the tabernacle, or you'll die. This is a forever rule for all your descendants. You need to know the difference between holy and unholy, and clean and unclean. Big deal, bro. Also, you've got to teach the Israelites all the statutes I gave them through Moses. You're their teacher now." Then Moses told Aaron, Eleazar, and Ithamar, "Take the leftover meat offering from the fire offerings to the Lord and eat it without yeast beside the altar. It's super holy. You've got to eat it in the holy place because it's your share and your son's share from the Lord's fire offerings. That's the rule, dudes. The wave breast and the heave shoulder? You eat those in a clean place with your sons and daughters. They're your share, given from the peace offerings of the Israelites. The Israelites bring the heave shoulder and wave breast with the fat from the fire offerings, and you wave them before the Lord. They're yours and your son's share forever. That's what the Lord said." Then Moses started looking for the goat of the sin offering and realized it had been burned. He got so mad at Eleazar and Ithamar and said, "Why didn't you eat the sin offering in the holy place? It's the holiest thing, and God gave it to you to carry the guilt of the people and make atonement for them before the Lord. Its blood wasn't brought into the holy place, so you should have eaten it in the holy place, just like I told you." Aaron said to Moses, "Look, dude, we've already offered our sin and burnt offerings before the Lord today, and then all this gnarly stuff happened to me. If I had eaten the sin offering today, do you think the Lord would have been okay with it?" Moses thought about it and was like, "Fair enough." And that was that. Leviticus chapter 11. The Lord totally spoke to Moses and Aaron and said, "Tell the Israelites, here are the animals you can chow down on from all the beasts on the earth. You can eat anything that has split hooves totally cloven, and choose its cud. Those are the okay ones. But here's the deal, don't eat these ones, the camel, because even though it chews the cud, it doesn't have split hooves. It's unclean for you, bro. Also, the coney. It chews the cud but doesn't split the hoof. Totally unclean for you. And the hare? Same deal. Chews the cud, no split hoof. Unclean. EW. Then there's the swine. It has split hooves and is cloven-footed, but it doesn't chew the cud. Unclean for you too. Don't eat their meat or even touch their carcasses. They're super unclean to you. As for water creatures? If it has fins and scales, totally fine. You can eat those, whether they're in the seas or rivers. But if it doesn't have fins or scales, like anything squirmy in the water? Hard no. That stuff is an abomination to you. Yeah, don't eat their flesh or even touch their carcasses. They're gross, okay? Anything in the water without fins or scales? Total abomination. Like, don't even think about it. Now, about birds, these ones are totally off limits and an abomination. Don't eat them. The eagle, ossifrage, and osprey. Also the vulture and the kite, basically anything like that. Oh, and every kind of raven is a no-go. Same with owls, night hawks, cuckoos, and hawks of all kinds. Also, the little owl, the cormorant, and the big owl. And don't forget the swan, pelican, and gear eagle. Plus the stork, herons, lapwings, and bats. Like, all super unclean. Anything that creeps and has wings and walks on all fours? Yeah, gross and an abomination to you. But here's the exception. You can eat flying creepy things that have extra legs to jump around with. Like, they're good to go. So things like locusts, bald locusts, beetles, and grasshoppers are totally fine. But all other flying creepy things with 4 feet? Total abomination. Just know. If you touch the carcass of any of these things, you'll be unclean until evening. Like, no exceptions. And if you have to carry one of their carcasses, you've got to wash your clothes and you'll still be unclean until evening. It's just how it works. So the carcasses of any animal that has hooves but isn't cloven-footed or doesn't chew the cud? Yeah, totally unclean for you. If you touch them, you'll be unclean. And anything that walks on paws, like any 4-legged beast, unclean too. If you touch their carcass, you're unclean until evening. If you carry their carcass, you've got to wash your clothes and you'll be unclean until evening. It's just how it is, they're unclean for you. Oh, and here are some of the creeping things that are also unclean: the weasel, the mouse, and any kind of tortoise. Plus the ferret, the chameleon, the lizard, the snail, and the mole. Major no-go list right there. All these creeping things are unclean for you. If you touch them when they're dead, you're unclean until evening. And anything they fall on when they're dead becomes unclean too: wooden stuff, clothes, leather, sacks, you name it. Just toss it in water, and it'll stay unclean until evening, then it's good to go. But if they fall into a clay pot? Smash it, bro, whatever was in it is unclean. If water from the unclean pot touches food, the food becomes unclean. And if it touches drinks, those are unclean too. Anything their carcass falls on, like ovens or stovetops, becomes unclean. You've got to break those down. Super gnarly, but it's got to be done. However, springs and wells with plenty of water stay clean. But if their carcass touches the water, that part is unclean. If their carcass lands on seeds that are ready to be planted, those seeds are still clean. Chill, right? But if the seeds are wet and the carcass touches them? Yeah, those seeds are unclean now. Bummer. If an animal that you're allowed to eat dies on its own, anyone who touches its carcass is unclean until evening. If you eat meat from that carcass or carry it, you've got to wash your clothes and you're unclean until evening. Every creepy crawly thing on the ground? Total abomination. Don't eat them, like ever. Anything that slithers on its belly, walks on all fours, or has a bunch of legs? Nope. They're abominations, dudes. Don't make yourselves gross by messing with these creepy things or touching them. It'll totally defile you. Because I'm the Lord your God. You've got to sanctify yourselves and be holy because I'm holy. Don't mess with creepy stuff and make yourselves unclean. I'm the Lord who brought you out of Egypt to be your God. So be holy, because I'm holy. This is the law about animals, birds, water creatures, and creepy crawly things on the ground. It's all about knowing what's clean and unclean, and which animals you can eat versus the ones you totally can't. Major sacred guidance, bro. Leviticus chapter 12. Then the Lord totally spoke to Moses and said, "Tell the Israelites, if a woman has a baby boy, she's gonna be unclean for 7 days, kinda like during her monthly vibes. On the 8th day, the baby boy's foreskin has to be circumcised. It's totally a holy ritual. Then she'll need to chill for 33 days for her purification. During that time, she can't touch anything holy or go into the sanctuary until her purification days are up. But if she has a baby girl, she'll be unclean for 2 weeks, like during her separation time, and then she'll need 66 days for her purification. Double the wait, dudes. When her purification days are all done, whether it's for a boy or a girl, she'll bring a lamb in its first year for a burnt offering and a young pigeon or turtle dove for a sin offering. She takes them to the priest at the tabernacle entrance. The priest will offer them to the Lord to make atonement for her, and she'll be totally cleansed from her flow. This is the law for women who've had a baby boy or girl. If she can't afford a lamb, she can bring 2 turtle doves or 2 young pigeons, one for the burnt offering and the other for the sin offering. The priest will handle it and make atonement for her, and she'll be clean." Leviticus chapter 13. And the Lord spoke to Moses and Aaron and said, "If a dude gets a bump, scab, or bright spot on his skin that looks like, the plague of leprosy, he's gotta go see Aaron the priest or one of his priestly sons. Major checkup vibes. The priest will totally examine the skin issue. If the hair in the spot has turned white and the spot looks deeper than the surface, it's leprosy. The priest will declare him unclean. Bummer, bro. But if the spot is white, not super deep, and the hair hasn't turned white, the priest will lock him up for 7 days. Like quarantine time, dude. On day 7, the priest checks again. If the spot hasn't spread and it's still the same, the priest locks him up for another 7 days. Double quarantine, bro. If, after the second 7 days, the spot looks darker and hasn't spread, the priest will pronounce him clean. It's just a scab, he washes his clothes, and he's good to go. But if the scab starts spreading after the priest declared him clean, he's gotta go back for another checkup. No shortcuts, dude. If the priest sees that it's spreading, he's gonna declare the guy unclean. It's definitely leprosy. Not good, man. If someone has full-on leprosy, they need to be brought to the priest. The priest will check them out, and if the spot is white, the hair has turned white, and there's raw flesh in the sore? Yeah, it's bad news. That's like old-school leprosy. The priest declares him unclean. No quarantine needed. The dude's definitely unclean. But if leprosy breaks out all over his skin, from head to toe, and the priest sees that it's everywhere, the guy might be clean. If it's turned all white, the priest will declare him clean. He's good to go, clean vibes, dude. But if raw flesh pops up, that's a problem. He's unclean again. When the priest sees the raw flesh, he'll declare him unclean. Raw flesh equals leprosy. Total bummer. If the raw flesh heals and turns white again, he needs to go back to the priest. The priest checks him out, and if the spot has turned white, he'll declare him clean. Like he's all good now. If someone had a boil on their skin and it healed, but then there's a white bump or reddish spot where it was, he needs to show the priest. The priest will check it out. If the spot looks deeper than the skin and the hair has turned white, it's leprosy breaking out from the boil. Total unclean vibes. The priest will call it like it is, unclean. It's a serious skin situation, bro. So if the priest checks it out and sees no white hairs, it's not lower than the skin, and it's kinda dark, he'll quarantine the dude for 7 days. Chill isolation time. If the spot spreads all over the skin, the priest declares him unclean. Total leprosy vibes. But if the spot stays put and doesn't spread, it's just a burned scar. The priest will call him clean. No worries, bro. If someone's skin gets a hot burn and there's a bright spot, reddish or white, the priest checks it out. If the hair in the spot turned white and it's deeper than the skin, that's leprosy breaking out from the burn. The priest will call him unclean. Harsh. If there's no white hair and it's not deeper than the skin but still a little dark, the priest quarantines him for 7 days. Another waiting game, dude. On day 7, if the spot has spread, the priest declares him unclean. It's leprosy. But if the spot hasn't spread and just looks dark, it's from the burn. The priest will call him clean. It's just inflammation. No biggie. If a guy or gal has a suspicious plague on their head or beard, the priest checks it out. If it looks deeper than the skin and has yellow, thin hair, that's a dry skull, like head or beard leprosy. The priest will call it unclean. But if it's not deeper than the skin and there's no black hair, the priest quarantines them for 7 days. Keep it safe, dude. On day 7, the priest checks again. If it hasn't spread, there's no yellow hair, and it's not deeper than the skin. The person shaves, but not the spot. Then they're quarantined for another 7 days. Double check, just to be sure. On the second day 7, if it hasn't spread and isn't deeper than the skin, the priest declares them clean. They wash their clothes, and they're good to go. But if it spreads after they're declared clean, the priest looks again. If it's spreading, no need to check for yellow hair. They're unclean. If the spot hasn't spread and there's black hair growing in it, it's healed. The priest declares them clean. Awesome, dude! If a guy or gal gets white, bright spots on their skin, the priest checks it out. If the spots are kinda dull white, it's just freckles. Totally clean. No worries. And if a guy's hair falls off his head and he's bald, chill, he's still clean. Baldness doesn't mean unclean vibes. So if someone's hair falls out on the front part of their head, their forehead bald, but hey, they're still totally clean. But if there's a white reddish sore on their bald head or forehead, that's a sign of leprosy popping up in the bald area. Yikes. The priest will check it out, and if the sore is white reddish and looks like leprosy in the skin, it's official, he's a leprous dude. Totally unclean. The priest will call it like it is. Unclean, bro. It's in your head. A person with leprosy has to rip their clothes, keep their head uncovered, and cover their upper lip. They've gotta shout, "Unclean! Unclean!" whenever someone comes near. As long as they've got the leprosy, they're considered unclean. They've gotta live alone, outside the camp. Major isolation vibes. Now if a garment, whether wool or linen, has a leprous plague, whether it's in the fabric, the weave, or anything made of leather, and the spot is greenish or reddish, it's a leprous plague. They've gotta show it to the priest. The priest will take a look at it and quarantine the item for 7 days. Garment quarantine, dude! On day 7, the priest checks it again. If the spot has spread in the fabric, weave, or leather, it's a gnarly leprous plague. It's unclean. That garment or leather item needs to be burned in the fire. It's a stubborn leprosy and has to go. No saving it, bro. But if the priest sees the spot hasn't spread in the garment or leather, he'll tell them to wash it and quarantine it for another 7 days. After washing, the priest checks it again. If the spot hasn't changed color and hasn't spread, it's still unclean. Burn it, it's leprous inside and out. If the spot looks faded after washing, they'll cut out the infected part of the garment, leather, or fabric. But if the spot pops up again later, it's spreading, and the whole thing needs to be burned in the fire. Gotta get rid of it, dude. If the spot disappears after washing, wash it again, and it's totally clean. Good to go. So yeah, this is the law for dealing with leprosy in garments or leather, whether in the weave or fabric. It's all about deciding if it's clean or unclean. Major inspection vibes.